Hi, how are you?
How old are you?
I am 26.
All right. So, modern women, what's the problem modern women have with catering to their men?
Subscribe now.
I think that for some reason, if someone you love is considered oppressive, which doesn't make any sense to me.
Love is oppressive.
Yeah, I mean, that's the message that we get. If you want to love and take care of your man, then that means that he's in control of you. Because it couldn't possibly mean that you just love him and you want to do something nice for him.
Where is that message coming from?
I think it's coming from feminism and from hardened women. I know I come from a Latina family, so there's a lot of trying to match masculine energy, and it didn't serve me well.
Let me ask you, do you have any children?
I don't, but I would like to.
So if you ask these women who would share that sentiment, does that mean they're in control or dominating their children because they are in control of them? If you ask the women who felt love was oppressive because men puts a man in control, well, what could you make the same argument for the women and their children? What? Is it oppressive? Are your children oppressing you because you love them?
So, I mean, there are some women that feel like having children is like the biggest chore ever. So they could feel like they're forced reproducing, even though they made.
All right, I'm going to just ask a hardcore question: do these women tend to be attractive and involved? There you go.
Oh, no, not at all. They get what they can. So
I
had a different question. So I'm with a high value man, and we're talking about catering to these men, right? Well, I'm coming up on my 1-year anniversary. So, like, what do you get the man that has everything? I'm kind of struggling there.
Well, back up. When you say high value, I have very definitive parameters. Do you know my parameters?
Oh, I have an idea.
All right.
But yeah.
We're going to just assume that they're probably different. But you're here. And how is there an age difference between you two?
Yeah. He's 49. He's a physician's assistant.
Okay. And are you guys together for marriage, or are you guys just together enjoying each other's company?
We would like to get married, but he wants to make sure the investment's good. So he wants to have a kid first and then get married.
He's a physician?
Physician's assistant.
Your OBGYN says you're fertile? Then that's all that matters. What? No. See, this is why high value men don't move in that manner. He may make a lot of money, but that doesn't make him high value, because he wants you to have his child before he puts a ring on your finger.
Yeah, I don't agree with it.
Okay,
but I also like
no. Okay, well, let's go down the first off, let's say I agree with it. Let's go down the path. After you have the child, how quickly could you expect to be married?
Oh,
no, a year? No, high value men marry 6 months or less. We don't do this. That's you're already a year into it. So that means you would be a year from now, then 9 months, and 9 months to have a child, then a year after that, you'd be in it for 3 years?
I see your point. I don't agree with it, but the dating market is scarce and he's a good man.
No. That's a scarcity mentality, and you're setting yourself up for failure. Okay, now, this is why I call it as I see it, ma'am. But I'm going to go down this path. All right, let's say he wants to do the Sam Rothstein in casino. You're going to have the baby first, Ginger, before I married you. But do you know what he did after that? He put $1 million worth of jewelry and gave it into an account for her. Soon as she had the baby, they got married. She got $1 million. And then down the line, she had full signature authority on every account. He's 49. You're 26. If this is serious, all right, where's the contract? Where's the money? Once I deliver a healthy child, I need 500,000 in escrow in an account. I mean,
Okay.
If you don't agree,
like
okay, because if he's really serious, put his money where his mouth is, because I don't buy this bullshit of having a child first. That's manipulation.
I tend to agree more with you than anything, but it seems to be a lot of concerns about, if I end up marrying him, then it gives me like too much access too soon. What am I going to do with it? But I don't think that's fair.
He needs, okay, just like I tell women, making a man in your present pay for mistakes of your past equals no future. You've given him a year. And if he doesn't know, he's had plenty enough time. See, you're setting yourself up for disaster by buying into his of I'm a good man. It's the Walking Dead out there. So, well, let me back it up. What's too much to ask for? Why, one kid? Why not two?
Oh, I think we plan on having three,
just to make sure before you get married. Why not three?
I mean, I think at that point it's a
but so there is a line where it becomes ridiculous.
Yeah, in my opinion, my preference is to get married first. Okay, but my point is, man, we teach people how to treat us. So you came in leading with he's a high value man, and I'm sorry. High value men determine who the high value men are. We determine who these guys are. You ladies call high value men just men who make a lot of money, but it requires more than that. It requires making a certain amount of money over a certain length of time. Other high value men recognizing you as a peer or a potential peer, having a network of high value men and others, having a certain level of visibility and being useful to others and a group. I don't know many men who are truly high value who would think like this, because that's a scarcity mentality. That's a fear-based mentality. Ooh, okay.
We're abundance and we're not scared. Because he ain't rich. Because he ain't rich. Let's be real. He's a physician's assistant. He's not a physician. So due respect, friend, you ain't rich. We're talking about worried about losing 10,000. If you're talking about losing hundreds of thousands of millions of dollars, then... But men with that kind of money doesn't move. You are 26. This man doesn't want to marry you. You may be in love with him, but ma'am, if he wanted to marry you, he'd have married you by now. And he certainly wouldn't be asking you to have babies and then later on down the line. So I'm not going to say give him an ultimatum, because that doesn't work. But I would really strongly ask you to assess why you are here. Is it for your best outcome?
Well, my thing is, if in the end I end up married anyway, or even if it's under common law, is it any different?
No, ma'am, that's not that. Okay. So your daughter comes to you and says, Mom, the guy I'm with, 20 years older than me, wants me to have babies before I get married. And then that's not what I want to do, but he's high value and it's rough out here for a pimp. All right. So, and if he doesn't marry me anyway, we're living together, we're common law, it's all the same. You'd say, you're right, daughter, go ahead. That's a good investment. Then stop lying to yourself.
No.
You drank the Kool-Aid. Yeah, the oxytocin is flowing. See, women like you end up not getting what you want from this man. Then you turn into man-hating women because you go into bad situations that you know are bad. I got nose dog in this fight, man, but this does not sound right. So you're making an irrational feelings-based decision, I'm not a big fan of love or anything like that, but we're talking about a guy who's a physician's assistant. He's not the physician. And the way he's structuring this deal is like he's a damn neurosurgeon from Hopkins. I can't see it, but if you put yourself in this position to where you're willing to accept that whether I'm married legally or not, Well, if that's the case, ma'am, if it's no big deal, then go down to the courthouse and go ahead and make it legal, since it's all the same, right?
I
Right.
agree.
The
Like,
problem
what I
is, here's
want.
the problem. You've allowed yourself to fall in love with the man who doesn't want to marry you. And you
Correct.
can't undo this. So you're going to either have to accept that you're not going to get what you want, or you're going to have to leave.
It's true. I have eggs. They're gonna expire at some
Well,
point, right?
you can't. There's no amount of I'll do whatever. I'll have a baby to keep him. You can't make a man be what he doesn't want to be. Sorry, it's not what you wanted to hear, but
No.
no. All right, have a good day. So I'm
Yeah.
much on the fact that this is why I'm very specific on who I call high value or not. High value, you got to look at the men around that man. And guys who tend to roam in individual circles by themselves, they may be high earners, may be good guys, but there's something a little off. And ladies, make no mistake, I can understand the Sam Rothstein. Go watch Casino. The Robert De Niro character and the Sharon Stone character. They had an executive marriage. And he said, marry me and I'll take care of you. And he said, basically, he wanted everything up front. You got to have a baby first. But after he married her, she got her million. That's leverage that a man like that can make. You don't make that kind of leverage deal with a guy who's not. That makes no sense to me. That makes no sense to me. So don't let it be said that I'm always bashing. No, I call it as I see it.